Hello, lovely people of the internet. This is Junk Jaw Reselling Podcast. My name's Jay.
I'm Ray.
I'm Kenny.
Welcome back to another fun-filled episode of knowledge and reselling and antics. Dude, let's just jump straight into this, though.
Yeah, I'm gonna jump straight into this. Your damn squeaky chair, man. I know last episode.
All right.
I'm calling you out right out of the gate.
I'm gonna have to stay still.
Just stay still. Don't move around like a.
What happens when you're overweight? Your chairs cry out for help. They do. And I can't help that, it's just, I can't help it. But listen, if somehow you're 5 pounds overweight or, you're above
Or
your average weight.
Or 100.
Or 100 pounds. Hit that subscribe button. Leave a comment.
Dude, I wasn't trying to call you fat.
No, it's fine. Leave your comment and listen, I'm going to stand up. I want you guys, we're starting at the beginning. I want you guys to guess my weight. I'm going to stand up. I'm going to turn to the side. I want you to guess. You need to guess my weight down in the comments. This is a fun-filled episode. Guess my weight. And if you do, and I tell you what, you guess my weight and you're within 5 pounds, no matter who does it, I'm sending you a $10 McDonald's gift card myself out of my pocket. If you're 5 pounds close.
Is there a limit? Like, it's not the first so many. I would set a limit.
No, we're going to see how many's going to do it.
It's the first person. The first person to guess within 5 pounds. You'll see when the comments come in.
Well, he just said whoever. I was
whoever.
Like,
if you're guessing or you're within 5, I'm sending you a $10 McDonald's gift card. I'm doing it. I don't care if 80 people come in and watch and 80 people and they get it within 5 pounds. I'm sending you a $10 McDonald's gift card. And even better than this, if you get it right on the dot, I'm not talking about points. I'm sending you a $100 gift card. I will. Out of my pocket. $100 gift card if you get it right on point.
Yep.
Okay.
To enjoy McDonald's so we can make their chair squeaky too.
Make their chair squeaky too. But again, guys, welcome. Even if you don't guess and you just want to hear some podcasts, some antics, some fun, hit that like, hit that subscribe button, and continue watching us. We thank you very much.
Do I hear birds? What is on? Like, what's going on? I'm sorry.
I don't know. I hear birds too.
That's probably me.
Kenny. Yeah. Dude, going into birds. Tell us what's going to happen with your t-shirts.
Yep. So I'm dropping some t-shirts I made. They're since Savannah Bananas are coming to Baltimore, I made some t-shirts based around that. And I kind of learned from, I don't know if you guys know the seller Miss Taffy, the reseller Miss Taffy.
I like Miss Taffy.
I clicked on one of her videos yesterday. Like, it was literally just yesterday, and I figured out how to do these t-shirts and stuff, and I came up with my own design, and where she sells them like through Printify. And I'm just going to try mostly locally. She was saying, like, 'cause you can actually transfer stuff from Printify to Etsy very easy. But I mean, I might put some on there too, but for now I'm just trying locally. I'm just going to do it that way. But I don't know. I figure it's basically just the Oriole bird, like, or a Oriole looking bird. Because I don't want copyright infringement, but it looks kind of like the Oriole bird mascot, but he's dressed up as a banana, and it says I'm bananas for Baltimore.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, everything
for Baltimore.
Remember the word parody. Always remember the word parody. That will get you by the trademark issue. Parody. Yeah. You're allowed parodical, satirical comedy. You're allowed that. So just remember, it's a parody.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I think his design He put it on Facebook. I think it's perfect. Passes all trademark guys. I tell you, dude, I sold T-shirts back in the day. At a late there was this couple at the flea market, and they would make T-shirts. I made a deal with them, and during that time, what was really hot was that Mafia show. Can't
Soprano.
remember the name of it. Sopranos,
Okay.
and I had to make T-shirts up for them. Nice, high quality stuff. I think I paid like $4 a piece for them, and one I made up. It said on the front said "Forget about it," and I went around and I sold them at the bars. Some of the bars would have where they watch Soprano shows, and I would sell them at the bars, and made money doing that. Yeah, man, dude. There's if you're a hustler and you want to do T-shirts, there's money in the business.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I think I'm even gonna do a big cartel store. I don't know. Have you guys heard
I've
of
heard
that?
of them. Yeah, I heard of Big
Yeah.
Cartel. Yeah,
Because you can put 5 items up there and it's no listing fee
that's cool.
or like no subscription fee. Like I think it's like around $15 a month or something like that anyway.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna have that many items, or maybe I'll just have 5 at a time, and I interchange them. I don't know how that works, but I'm thinking about putting some on there. I probably will eventually put some to Etsy, but then sell locally. Just try to see how many I can get.
I'll tell you a nice place. Yeah, go to bars, bro. You go to bars, sell them at the bars. There's always sports fans at bars.
Yeah.
You're always sports fans at bars, and people get drunk. They'll want to spend money all the time.
Go outside the
Look,
Chili's late at night. Go like 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock at night. They're like a little sports bar.
Yeah.
I mean, you can sell 20, 30, 40, 50 of them in a day,
Yeah.
Go
I know,
downtown when a game's
20 or
going,
25. Yeah. No, I'll figure out. I know they're gonna sell. Like I'm certain. I just need to recoup some money from buying my own Savannah Bananas tickets.
Yeah.
See,
how much they charge you for the tickets?
We got 5. We had to pay for 5 tickets. I know we're gonna get reimbursed because we got a couple other people going with us, but we bought because we got 5 tickets, so it was $300.
Wow.
So it's $60 a piece though. So like I just need to get 120 back and then I'll be golden.
That's cool. I like that. I didn't think about it. I thought there was like some kind of lottery.
Dude, it's a pain. Like it's not easy. Like my wife was in there and like they give you a time slot and you have to basically check in and everything, and like that's it. Like if you miss your time slot, you're not going to get them. And even if you get a late time slot, you're probably not going to get them because they'll sell out. So like I think we had an early enough time slot, but they were playing 2 games and they completely sold out 2 days in a row. 2 games. I mean, this is going to be the fullest that Camden Yards I've ever seen it.
Yeah. Are they going to fill it all the way up?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. That's why I think they can't give exactly assigned seats on their tickets yet or something. I don't know how it works, but I think it's something you might just wait outside and like, okay, you're going to be in this vicinity.
Yeah.
However you go in, this is where you have to sit, like go in a row, or I have no idea. Or maybe they just figure out that later. Oh, Kenny's gone.
Oh, Kenny went out. See if he's coming back here.
He should be.
Come on, Kenny.
But how was your week?
My week was it was okay, a little bit slower than last week. All right, Kenny.
There he is.
He's back.
In action.
You guys froze.
Hit that like button. Kenny's back.
You guys froze. I had to come back. Had to leave. Come back. Now I'm here.
Yeah. He's back. Hit that like
just
button.
Like any other construction worker, they usually got to come back a couple times for the job, right?
That's right.
Got to knock on wood there,
No, my week was good last week. This week, not so great. It slowed down a little bit. Well, slowed down a lot of bit. But I'm still getting listings up most days. I missed a few days, but hopefully this weekend picks up and get going. How about your guys?
Yeah, I'll go.
Kenny?
I did a count up a couple days ago. I've had some sales since then on just pens. At the time, I think it was like $760 worth of pens. I think I'm up over 900 and in just pens in the last couple weeks. I'm gonna tell you, it's the little gift that keeps on giving for me. I gotta tell you, it was probably one of the best buys I've had in a long time. I still have a lot to list. I got some I'm not even gonna list. I'm gonna sell other places because they're lower dollar stuff. I mean, I can just theorize at the end. I'm probably gonna make $3,000 off a $60 buy. I gotta be honest. It's feeding my sales. You know what I mean? I'm doing okay. It's not. Don't get me wrong. It's not like $1,000 week, but with other stuff I'm selling, it's okay. It's not bad. It's better than zero.
Amen.
Yeah. So
That's good.
I was
How about
thankful.
you,
I
bro?
was thankful. I paid $60 for I don't even know 500 items of 70s, 80s, and 90s pens, and it's doing great for me. So thank you, Lord.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Yeah, my week has been kind of slow. I mean, it definitely picked up this past weekend. It was pretty good. I was very happy. Yesterday, it finally picked up a little bit again, but it feels like Thursdays. I don't know why. It always picks up, and then it just slows down for like a day, and it picks up again for the weekend. I don't know, but like the rest of the week, it's not very good. Especially like it's right now, like eBay is like doing okay, but then all my other platforms are suffering again. Like I don't know why it just fluctuates like that. I wish it was, it's usually when eBay's doing good, my other platforms are doing bad, and then when eBay's doing bad, my other platforms do good. So I don't know. It's a kind. That's why I sell on some other platforms. It kind of tries to balance it out, like
Yeah.
a little bit, but it's just not very. It's not the best, and I've definitely had way better days. But uh, while I'm thinking of this, I want to talk about. So I had this buyer message me yesterday without even looking at the message. And I'm gonna say the buyer's name just because it's like he wants attention with his name. I
Be
don't care.
careful with it.
Um, no, I'm just saying the username. I don't care.
Okay. All right.
Um,
All right. I just say
okay,
there's
well,
privacy,
if,
agreements that you sign.
for a username, I'm not going into
Okay.
like
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
the
I got
guy's
you.
name or anything. I just username is still public.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
He messaged me.
Just don't go past the username.
I don't even have the other info because he didn't buy crap. But like, if a buyer messages you on eBay and their username is literally picky buyer,
Oh God.
Oh,
what do you do?
no way, bro.
Dude, I thought it was a
You're getting
joke.
blocked.
I
No.
thought it was a joke. Yeah, and I actually answered his question, and I'm like, what am I doing? He wanted like a whole history behind this item that I was
There's
selling.
no way. There's no way. Hey, guess what? I would have
Got
blocked him.
blocked. He got blocked instantly. Yep.
Yeah.
But I will say, look,
I'll,
I'm a picky buyer too on certain things, but I'm not. I'm not the kind of guy that's going to buy something and return it just to get my money back. So if I buy something and I don't like it, as long as it was described as what it was, I'm just going to eat the cost. I don't care. So, but I am still a picky buyer though. I really am. Just like me and James, we just right before we got on here, we went out and we bought from a local little garage sale, yard sale that was happening. We basically bought all the
Friday?
ladies' clothes, right? Gigantic, like I don't think what was that, 15 boxes worth of stuff, right? For like $30.
Yeah.
And we're probably gonna flip, make about $600-700 off of her. So we're picky buyers because we want it for so cheap that we're automatically gonna make money off of it. Essentially.
Yeah, but
Right.
you don't like display it. I mean, you know what I mean.
No,
I'm
no,
about,
no.
I'm about to get a shirt made up, and I'm gonna walk around the flea market. It just says "picky buyer."
You know, another thing,
See how people deal with me all day.
Jay actually thought about this a long time ago, but we're rethinking about it now that we might get some 2x4s and plywood and paint and make some of these donation boxes, right? And in the bottom corner, put a little sign to say, "Hey, this is for a for-profit business." As long as you say that, you're not pretending to be a nonprofit, and just paint the boxes up as if it's like some of those donation boxes, clothes and shoes and whatever, and find some people who will let them set us on their property and give free donations. You know what I mean? So that's what we're rethinking about doing that now. You know, and every week go
Yeah,
around and just
it
collect
could.
from the boxes. You know,
Yeah, I mean, you could be like just so like I don't want to say the. I mean, something that has to do with like people decluttering their home. You know what I mean? It could just be like a name like that. You know, just to get the statement like, hey, you know, if you want to bring stuff here and get rid of it, uh, go ahead.
well,
Like,
you know,
you
technically,
know what I
I was
mean?
thinking about it. I think it's going to be okay. But technically, you're not allowed to collect donations unless you are a 5301C or whatever. Um,
Oh,
so
okay.
the only way we can get around that is if we don't say anything about donation. You know what I mean?
Yeah, just can't call it
We just
donation.
don't call it donations, and we'll just say drop off. You know what I mean? And then again,
Mm-hmm.
we make sure we let people know on a little sign at the bottom in very small print that it's for a for-profit business. We're not going to pretend to be nonprofit. So that's another thing
Yeah,
we're thinking about maybe doing. You know, we just
dude. I think I have a brilliant idea
what's that?
that that you find like a restaurant or business that you want to put it in front of,
Mm-hmm.
right? And you make a deal with the business, and this way, technically, you're not accepting donations. This way, you have a sign on there saying that for every donation you make, you give them like a $5 gift card or something like that
Yeah, but that's
to that business that's right there.
yeah, but that's hard. You need the only problem with that is then you need somebody to be aware every minute of the day for donations to be able to hand it out. Where way we want to do it is just set the boxes, set it and forget it, and then just come around every week and just collect all the stuff. Right? We don't have to
Yeah,
have to worry about checking the donations that people are giving. You get what I'm saying? We just want to
yeah.
make
I mean,
sure.
maybe. I mean, I think there's ways you could put like fill a box type thing, put it in a box or a bag. Kind of, like there's companies that will pay you if you. Well, actually, it's stupid. I forget what company it is. No, you have to pay. You pay them to take your own crap. I forget what company it is, but they give you a specific bag, and you pay them.
And see, we wanna do it in better neighborhoods, right? Higher dollar, higher medium income, neighborhoods. Let's be honest, the better the neighborhood, the better the stuff, right? I want
Mm-hmm.
Gucci, I want uh Saint Laurent, right? I want all the good stuff, right? That's what I want. I'm not gonna lie, I want that. I don't want Old Navy. I'll take Old Navy, but I don't want Old Navy. I want
Yeah.
Louis Vuitton. And you'll
Yeah.
have
No, I
you'll
get it.
have some of them people to drop off whatever just to get rid of it.
Yeah. Yeah. The biggest issue with those boxes, though, no matter where it is, people just dump stuff and they leave when it gets full. They leave right outside the
See,
box.
that's the thing, right? We're just gonna have to take everything. Even sometimes people will leave trash. We'll just have to take the trash and dump it. You know what I mean? That's the cost of doing
Yeah,
business.
yeah.
Yeah.
But
I mean, at least you don't have a buy-in cost once do
Yeah.
that.
we may be the first
That
people
is
in
your
the
buy-in cost.
maybe the first people in the state to put electronic boxes out
Yes.
there, so you can drop off your video games and your
Electronics.
you know
Yeah, that's. hmm
electronic.
But I'll tell you.
Even better when you get a little longer. Now I hate to give ideas. people don't listen, but
Well,
one things you can do once you get bigger and your name's out there and you have numbers, people when you make your boxes up, you make them with keypad locks, and they call you and tell you you give them the keypad number. So when they go and do they can change all the time. You do the donation, they put the keypad number
Yeah.
in, and then they do
Mhm.
their drops.
That's
okay.
what I was gonna say. I was like, with the electronic boxes, we're gonna have to make them a little bit more secure. With the exception of the
Yeah.
closed boxes is one thing,
But
but the electronic boxes,
there's probably a lot of regulations in that
we're
too.
definitely gonna have to put a more secure box.
Can something like that even sit outside? Because what if somebody drops something in there that has like a lithium batteries and stuff like
Yeah,
that?
it'd be
Like,
fine.
you know what I mean? That's something to think about. I mean, look at it this way. I know Staples. So you guys aren't. You're the first one to probably be interested in doing boxes, but I know Staples will take most electronics back too. You just donate
Yeah,
it to
but
them.
don't worry about Staples. I want you to give it to Delmarva Deals or Junk Joe
Yeah.
Reseller Podcast. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We need your help.
No, I'm just saying. I'm not trying to.
You should like, subscribe, and
I'm
then
just
give
kind
us
of
all
saying
your
it.
your stuff for free. You know what I mean?
You ought to see if there's like a box like that you can just keep inside the flea market.
Another thing I was going to bring up to James. I wasn't going to say it out loud, but yeah, I was going to see if we could set a box, even to make a big one, and have it on the side of the flea market. So
Yeah, but
because
I'm saying
you'll
inside.
catch the people at the end of the day who have a bunch of stuff left, and they don't want to take it, and they'll just dump it in ours, right?
Yeah,
Like
true.
we'll
Yeah.
just
Yeah,
have to post no trash.
yeah. That
You're
don't.
still gonna get
Yeah.
trash. Though.
They ain't gonna
No,
listen.
you're still gonna get
Yeah.
it,
They ain't
but
gonna listen.
Yeah.
No, but
So
that's that.
since we're talking about electronics, I know Jay, you want to talk about the Nintendo Switch 2.
Well, the Nintendo Switch 2 dropped.
you mean
I don't
hold
know if
on,
anybody.
hold on. You mean the Nintendo Switch? We want your money, Nintendo Switch, right? The Nintendo, we want your
Yeah.
money, Switch. Yeah.
So I missed the pre-order, but they had another go. You could pay for it, and, stand out in the line. Well, come to find out that you could go in line at 3:00 in the afternoon, and I went there and I was the first person, and I paid for my item.
Number one.
Number one, stood in the line at midnight. Got there. I wound up being there at 11:45. First one to buy the Nintendo Switch. I was the first one to walk out of the building with the Nintendo Switch 2. Didn't hook it up to the next day, and I only have the Mario Kart World that I was playing, but I will tell you this: it's just like the Switch One. I mean, it really is. It's like a pro version of the Nintendo Switch, and it harkens me back to the Wii and the Wii U days when the Wii U failed because it was just even though it was so different than the Wii, it's still the marketing wasn't
Yeah.
there, and there's so many out there. So I think you're gonna have these resellers trying to buy up these Nintendo Switch 2s,
I've
and I
seen it.
think they're going to get caught with them because there's plenty out there.
Because of the tariff.
Yeah.
There's plenty out there. Walmart has them in their boxes.
Yeah.
They didn't even sell out at the GameStop. There's
Because you
plenty
Yeah.
of
think
them.
for the last 60
Yeah.
days
I see, yeah.
they've been flooding the market. That Nintendo probably flooded distributors with them so they could just get away from the tariffs. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like we were talking about, it's
Yeah.
I mean,
probably 50, 60 million units here in the United States already.
I would think there's a lot because they want to bypass those
Yep.
tariffs. Why keep sending this stuff
Yep.
in? But I think it's going to be. I mean, you guys can be mad or whatever. I think it's going to be so far it's a failure to me because the user interface is the same as the Switch One user interface. Um, the games, I know it's 4K, 60 frames per second,
Who cares?
but they look just exactly the same. This Mario Kart's a little different. Okay, there's people out there like, oh yeah, it's great. You got an open world on it, and there's like 24
But
racers all at one thing,
bro,
but it looks the
you could have
same.
did that on the first one, the first Nintendo Switch, right?
Yeah,
Like, I mean, you could have did all the stuff that's with that Mario Kart. You could have done on the other Mario Kart. That's
right.
all it is.
Mm-hmm.
And that Mario Kart was a port from the Wii U.
Yeah,
Mario Kart, what was it? Mario Kart 8?
yeah. It's one of the highest selling games
Wii
of
U
all
port.
time.
Yeah.
Wow.
And don't get me wrong, the Mario Kart's not going to die. It's people are going to buy it, but I think you can only get the Mario Kart World on the Switch
Yeah.
too. That's the system seller for itself. But do you want to play these new games? You have to buy.
Mm-hmm.
You have to buy the Switch too, and it's okay. I just don't know. I don't see any humongous benefit.
Look. I mean, you think about it with the PlayStation 4, right? PlayStation 4 basically plays almost all the games the PlayStation 5 has. There's really no reason to buy a PlayStation 5, right? Because it plays the exact same games with maybe a little upgrade, The Nintendo Switch and Switch 2 is the same thing. They basically do the same thing. There's no difference. What I've seen from yours so far, it looks and just seems the exact same. Just update it. That's all it is. It feels like an updated version.
It does. It does.
I don't want it to
I mean,
fail,
PS5 is.
but it probably will fail. Overall, it probably will be a failure system.
Well, PS5, I will give it to PS5. I know. I mean, Switch 2 is backwards compatible. So is the PS5. PS5 they do have a few games that you can only play on the PS5. Then they had the haptic.
Yeah,
the haptic sensors, but
again, it's an upgrade.
PS5. There's 75 million units sold so far on the PS5. Nintendo, when you look at Nintendo's a different ecosystem there. Nintendo has always done something that they have a niche. They have a little gimmick that goes along with every one of their consoles.
Mm-hmm.
Is the Switch 2 the gimmick where you could turn it around and use it as a mouse? But I don't see where that's applicable to the average person playing video games, because you're going to need a tablet. You're going to need a table in front of you, or you're going to need to sit at a desk to be able to play it. And I don't think
that was just a way to try to get people who play PC games to play Nintendo Switch.
Yeah, but they're not
going
to
come over like that. They might come over to play it and try it out, but you're never going to pull them off the PC.
No. And they're going to port a lot of these old games over from like PS5 or Xbox One over, because that's what they've already started with it. Their launch lineup. You got Cyberpunk, you got Sonic, and you got some of these other games. Why I can buy them on PS5 and play them at a better resolution, and they're cheaper.
And I'm a PC game player, right? I feel no draw. Like, oh my god, let me try the Nintendo Switch 2 so I can play it like a mouse. I feel no want or need to do this, right? Like, so it doesn't make me a PC user. I like playing games on PC to want to go play that. I don't have that feeling inside my heart, right? I'd much rather play, to be honest with you, I'd much rather play the Steam Deck than the Nintendo Switch 2, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Got a sale.
Oh,
chain went off. Maybe I sold a robot.
You sold a robot?
Yeah, a robot.
What kind of robot?
It's a Lost in Space robot.
Lost
hey,
in Space?
Johnny.
Yeah.
Okay. Like the older.
Like the older looking one, but it's
There's
new.
trouble, Mr. Robinson.
I like the series on Netflix. The Lost in Space on Netflix.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've seen that one, but that was pretty decent.
I've seen the first season and some of the second season. It is pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty decent.
I would have killed that one lady
Yeah.
straight outright, ain't it? She would have been one dead broad. The crazy doctor lady,
Yep.
you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah. I would have just
Yep.
killed her as soon as I found out she was being nutso.
she
But
was crazy on that show.
I haven't seen the show.
Either that or
No.
made her like
All I know is
made her, to help breed and repopulate.
No.
all I know. If you're buying Switch 2s to resell on eBay, it's not worth
Be
your
careful,
time,
yeah.
and it's not worth energy. Be very, very, very careful,
Unless you buy them for really
because
cheap.
not only that, you're buying them. Say you get the deluxe. Say you get the edition with the Mario Kart. It's $500 you're paying, so $530 with tax.
Yeah.
Matters what state you're living. You're going to sell what, $650 online, maybe? Let's
Yeah.
say you get 700. That's $170 out there in the atmosphere. Then by the time they take your fees and you got your shipping, you got to worry about a
Mm-hmm.
return or somebody messing it up and then sending it back saying you could be out every dollar,
Mm-hmm.
or you're gonna say it goes great, you made $100.
Yeah. You think about it.
Yep.
You might as well just say whatever your profit is, cut it in half after fees, taxes, all that. You know what I mean? Shipping. So if you
Yeah.
made $150, cut it in half. You're only going to get
Ooh.
$65 to $75 out of it at the end of it.
After just talking about Mario Kart, the Mario Kart gods have given me a sale of a Mario Kart banana plush.
Oh
There you
man,
go.
look at that Mario
Five,
Kart, baby.
five, $5, but still, like, what's the coincidence that now I get
So
a
tell me, the coincidence we're talking about Mario Kart. That's fine. Look at that. Throw it
like
on the floor and slip, baby. People out here looking for Mario Kart, but I tell you, so I guess my question is too, because we all love video game reselling. There's money in video games. We go to the flea market. You got any video games? You got this, you got that.
Mhm.
We're doing everything for video games. We're standing on our heads, spinning around, doing a breakdance. How has video games changed the whole directive, the whole lifestyle, the whole, reselling get up changed from when you started selling to now?
it's always just. I don't think it's really changed much at all. I think it's always been the core question that from as long as I can remember when I would have yard sales when I was a little kid, you had people come up asking for video, and so I don't think any of that has really changed. It's always been that's the most sought after thing at yard sales, flea markets. It just because people know it's a little bit more of a quick flip. It has a higher resale rate, and that's what I think. None of that's changed. Maybe the values up and down like a market. Other than that,
Mm-hmm.
Well, for
Well,
me, all right, go ahead, James. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
no, go ahead, go ahead. I'm looking something
Okay.
up.
For me, when I first started selling on eBay by itself, a couple weeks in, I actually bought a gigantic collection of video games for $4,000 and ultimately resold it for like 12, 13,000, maybe a little bit more, whatever. But the reason I say that is getting in and selling the video games. I seen that they sold quick, they were easy, everybody wanted them. But what happens is, now that I've noticed, and now that I've been doing for so long, I see that everybody and their brother wants to be a video game buyer and reseller. Well, what that did was not just bring more competition, it also screwed up the prices for the games. Because now I can tell that, 90% of the video games that we buy and resell have no value. Like literally, feel like they have no value at all. Rarely you'll, you might feel special if you sell a $5 video game, but you're probably going to sit on it forever, right? So I think what happened is it threw the supply and demand out of whack, especially for online sales, and because it was good for a while, and then it's tanking right now. I truly believe in the end, it 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 was going to happen anyway. The sales for video game were going to tank. I think video game resellers in general probably helped speed up tanking the market for video games just by jamming 50,000 listings of the same game on there every day, right? So I think ultimately they just sped up, the death knell that was going to happen to video games online anyway. So I just think it was going to die, Resellers helped to do it, myself included, right?
Yeah. I kind of agree. I look back in the day. Um, there might have been people looking for video games, but video games for me back in the day when it wasn't in hype as what it is now, they would fall from the sky into my lap. I mean, boxes after boxes after boxes after boxes. I mean, just overflowed. I mean, I could get buried in the amount of games I could
And
get.
good games, right?
I mean, good games. I'm being buried in them. Now you can't do that because there's so much competition in the same space. What happens was these most resellers who they were not educated, they went out and just bought everything they could buy. Right? Let's buy it all because it's going to sell. And you know what? At some point in time, before it used to all sell. You could buy a cheap game and get rid of it and not worry too much about it. But and not everybody was selling on eBay. But now you have I can pull any game up, think of a game, and look what it is, and then really see how many copies selling it, in a
In
year,
90 days,
and how many
whatever.
listed.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. Technology with phones have really helped.
it's changed.
You know,
It really has changed it. But if you and altogether there's only certain games. There's only maybe 3 to 5% of games that are even worth buying, and they're the Mario Nintendo games. They're the Zelda games. They're just the
The
especially Nintendo.
RPGs, the
Nintendo's good.
JRPGs,
Yeah, the
Yeah.
ones that are rare and they're more niche that people get into, like the RPGs, and then all the Mario's, the Mario Karts. Like I just did a listing like here. We'll just take Xbox video games, just all in one. It has a 25% sell through rate, and we're talking about for everything. Some of those things will sit in there, and it'll take 5 years for you to sell. I mean, you just pick in games. I mean, I've had games where I'm looking. Okay, there's some sold comps for $9, but there is 1,500 of them listed, and there's 82 of them sold.
Mm-hmm.
Mine might not sell for 4 years. Those are the things, and a lot of people don't think about it. But I'm in deep in these video games that people bought, and now you gotta live with them.
Yeah.
You got to figure out another place to sell them. The market for me has tanked, minus all the good Nintendo games or all the rarer stuff. 5% of games, that's all you could deal with.
Well, look, like I grew up like my mom. She went from being like an antique dealer at the flea market, like having a little antique stand, to then selling on eBay. And she said when eBay came around, it changed just so many things in general, because there was so many things that she would have all the time, even at her flea market stand, that before eBay, it was considered rare. Like people didn't think there was that many of these like little Chinaware or whatever, certain things like,
yeah,
and then eBay came around and they're like, wow, there's so many of them. Like, and that's kind of what is going on too, because now it's the easier access to be able to just do that. Google image search doesn't help either.
You hit it right on the mark. That's exactly what happened. There were so many. Oh, it's rare. It's rare. A lot of glassware, a lot of stuff. And now it's like, no, it's not as rare as you thought it was, because every 4 houses have them.
Yeah, like take a look at this, right?
This is what it is.
These are cart only 32X Doom video games, right? Cartridge only, right? We have them marked at $15 a piece. These belong to me and James together, right? And that's actually being very kind. I remember back in the day, you couldn't find these, right? And if you did, they were like $45 a piece, right? Like, I have a whole box of video games here that because people went out and overloaded even on the cheaper video games, the games that had some kind of
Mhm.
value even got hurt, right? Like these used to be way more expensive. They're hard to sell anymore.
Yep.
You know what I mean? It's crazy.
Yeah.
Again, unless you have like the high, dollar things that people want, you're just not going to get anything, right? Like, look,
You're right.
Shrek 2 on GameCube, right? I can't remember. Look, we have it marked at 15. Like, again, that's a very liberal number, right? Good luck. You might get $8 on eBay for this, right? $8 to $10. There's people selling them for $5 with free shipping. You know what I mean? I don't know how people do that, but they do, right? Like, they'll sell for $5, $6 free shipping anymore. You know, here's a higher dollar video game. Bratz for GameCube, right? We have it set at $40, right? We just priced out the game so we kind of know what they go for. Good luck. Again, this might sit around for a while to get $40 out of this because everybody and their
Yeah.
brother went out and overloaded the market. Not just good games, not just mediocre games, but every single game. Everybody thought every single game was worth a fortune, and they overloaded the market, and that basically it depressed everybody. I'm not talking about like depression, like mental health issue, but they depressed the market. Basically, meaning they overloaded so many things on the society, on the public. The public itself said, you know what? I don't even care about buying video games anymore. Again, most of your people who buy your video games, there's a high likelihood they're resellers or flippers or
Yeah.
that one-off person who needed that game, right? But most of the time they're just
Yeah.
resellers. They're trying to flip
Yeah.
I
and make
love that.
money. That's it.
I love that you picked that game out specifically because I remember a year and a half ago, I was selling those things at around $45. In 2022, those games were worth $70
Yep.
a piece. Today's market,
Ooh,
$15
another
loose
sale.
part.
How much did this go for, James? The brat you said $15?
What? Well, yeah. What it used to go for is a different
Yeah, what
story.
it used to, because they flooded the market so bad, that's what happens.
Now, I was just thinking too that now, because I know I do this a little bit with certain things that are in my own collection sometimes, that it's things that I'm like, okay, I, I would be okay selling it for a certain price. Like, there's always a price for everything. You know what I mean? Like anything that's pretty much in my collection, there's a price. There's literally $1. There's a number that somebody could hit. I'll sell anything I have in my collection. And that's the thing. Like
Wow.
sometimes I've thrown stuff on eBay and with no intention to maybe to really, really sell it, but I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna throw it up there, and if it sells, it sells. If not, I still have it on display. It doesn't really bother me, and I think there's probably a lot of people out there do the same thing too.
Dude,
And
it's
but
crazy. Sorry.
but then also, no, you're good. But also, I want to say that because now it's so easy to list, you know what I mean? People aren't just sitting on stuff like they were.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So people like the younger generations and stuff like that, they've grown up with this now. It's just like it's so easy to them that
Yep.
they can just they see stuff that their parents don't want anymore. These kids sometimes they're like, "Oh, just get rid of this. I don't need it. Just get rid of it for me." They'll put it online for their parents or themselves, whatever, like their own stuff in minutes. And I think because of that, also because it's so easy to sell stuff, it's way more out
Yeah.
there.
It is.
Dude,
You're
I
right.
will tell you, not to go back and beat a dead horse, but I just looked this up. Again, we looked it up 2, 3 months ago. Again, on average, it was $40. I looked on active listings. You can buy this anywhere from $20 to $25 now. Just in the past 3 months, it's dropped down that freaking low. It's
Yeah.
absurd. The video
What
game
what is
market, the
Terapeak
video
show?
game market alone, is dying out.
What does Terapeak show? Because that goes back 3 years.
Oh, I'm pretty sure it's a lot higher on YouTube.
Well, I could go on. I go on a video game price charting. Like,
A sealed copy is $60 for that game. There's one that sold for 60
Yeah,
bucks sealed.
yeah. There's a lot of games like that though that are sealed that the price is just dramatically higher.
Yeah, but
Yeah, it's like that with a lot of
dramatically,
things. Though. Batting
$60
video.
isn't even high. $60
No, but
is
I'm saying
fairly cheap.
compared to what it is. But I'm saying compared to what it is used. You know what I mean? I
yeah,
don't know.
$60 for new. But which is, it should be more than that.
Yeah, a lot more.
Yeah.
Yeah, it should be more than that.
But look, at the end of the day, we all know this. This stuff's only worth how much somebody's willing to pay.
Yeah.
It's all this.
Well,
any of this stuff.
I gotta be honest with you, Ray. That sounds nice to say, but when you come to certain things that are almost like people view as a commodity, that's not true. The market really does interpret it how much value something has. It's not just like, oh, well, whatever somebody's going to pay. It's very hard to find somebody who's going to pay more than what the market says, right? Like, so
Yeah.
it's not about what somebody is going to choose to pay, because they're only going to choose to pay whatever somebody else paid, right? Most of the time. So, I mean, it sounds good to say that, but I don't think it's a true statement, not anymore, right? It just doesn't.
I don't know. I mean, just because you want it to be higher doesn't mean
Well,
value is going to
I
be.
think that only works on certain objects. Like, if like I got something that maybe nobody's seen and whatever the highest bidder's willing to pay, I think that's what it is. But like if I had a Mario Kart Wii, we already know what people are going to pay.
Yeah.
That's just it. The number is set. But if I had like
exactly, well, yeah,
Yeah, like this.
like
Look, that's why we
I
have
have
research, right? We have Terapeak that's going to tell us what the market, will, market did, because there's not. I mean, again, you might find an outlier, but most of the time, all the sales are within a range of the marketplace, right? Like this used to sell anywhere from 60 to 70. Again, now it's hell a third. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but that's because that's what it's probably
That's what the
depending on
market. That's what
trends.
the
It's gonna be
market,
backwards.
decided.
Yeah,
Overall, decided to do it.
that's what the people decide.
Well, that's what I'm
The
saying.
people are the ones who pay.
But that's what I'm saying. The,
You
the
know,
individual, it's only worth what somebody is willing to pay for it. Well, it's not about that. It's about what the entire community and group of people decide to pay for it, right? Like,
yeah,
so I mean, I get what you're saying, but I just, I think it goes deeper than just somebody. I think it's more because let's be
Well,
honest, the
look,
market can be manipulated. And how many times have we heard stories about people going out and buying 1,000 copies of a certain video game, and then they raise the price artificially to manipulate the market, right?
I mean, if you want to go do that,
Well,
go
I
go
don't
do
want to
that
do
because
that.
I
That's what
ain't
I'm saying.
spending
I don't
money
personally want to do that.
on product.
But people have
I don't
done
think
that, right?
for who's I mean, yeah, but for who's gain, because that's not going to help them that much. I mean, to do all that work and own all this product, it's the same.
Would you
They're
think
still going to have that for a very
that
long time. I don't think
that person's not doing it just to one product though, right? So say if you bought 500 copies of the same video game for $1 a piece, if you can get overall that price up to $10 a piece, you're 10 times your money, right?
Yeah, but they
Imagine,
had to spend a crap ton of money just to do that. That's
but
insane.
that's what people do, though, right? There have been people to do that. You got to have money to do it, but people have done it.
Yeah, well, look, if that's what it is, they have every right to get a higher price. They put in a
Yep.
hell of a lot of work just to
Yeah,
get
I'm
there.
not. Look, I want to be clear. I'm not knocking it.
Yeah,
I'm not knocking it.
no,
If I could, I would do that, right? I don't have the money
yeah,
because I've seen read stories where people had investors doing that. They go around and they do research on different products and they go buy a crap ton of it and they manipulate the market that way, right? And they wouldn't just do it to one
yeah,
product, they do it to 100 products. I mean, hell, if you think about it, Amazon did that back in the day. They manipulated the market. They ran up prices and ran down prices. And what they did,
yeah.
they found out who was buying what. And that's where the idea of Amazon Basics comes from. Amazon Basics, all they did was
Well,
copy knives and cutting boards and things that they knew people were buying because they manipulated the market. And they would
Yep.
buy the
I'll
people,
give you another. I'll
they
give
would
you.
buy all their product and then raise the price on it or lower the price on it
Yep.
and did the
yeah,
mathematics that way, you know.
Yeah. There's another one. I'll tell you. It's been known. Um, I've been around video games for a while, and it's Rampart on the Game
Yeah,
Boy.
I remember you told me that.
So
Yeah.
it started in 2013, 2014. You could buy Rampart at $1.62. Somebody came into the market as people had Ramparts sitting in their, selling on eBay. They bought all the Rampart carts up, which caused Rampart to shoot up to 25 and $40 a cart. This guy had so many Ramparts. He was paying $2 a piece and selling them between 25 and 40. Do that 1,000 times, and you tell me how much money you're going to
And
make.
again, I'm not knocking it, right? I'm not, I'm
yeah.
not upset with the guy for doing it because again, I would do it if I could.
I wouldn't. It's too much work, and it's not that much an improvement. I'd rather cash in on something that's a little more
Well, hell, Ray.
guaranteed.
Again, he was paying $2 and getting 25.
And times he was getting 40. So
Yeah.
that's, say if he
Well,
did
if the
that
price
Would you
1,000
is
say
times,
25,
yeah, if
Ben?
the price
$38,000.
Say if he was making
Huh?
20 at the end of the day, he made 20 off of it. You know what I mean? So every time he sold one, just say if he just on average made $20, clear, walk away. You do that 1,000 times, that's $20,000.
Yeah.
did it. This just reminds me. Have you guys seen that guy on? I think he's on Instagram. He might be on TikTok or something too. But he was literally has like the largest Titanic VHS collection.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He
I
just
know.
keeps
Yeah,
buying them.
he like owns every single Titanic VHS. So if you need to buy one, you gotta buy from him, and he's gonna charge you $50 now.
Yeah. But but what they did was the smart thing back in the day. See, you do that now, you're gonna ruin it most times because unless you're able to buy so many of them to manipulate that market. Because when you bought them in 2014, people wasn't selling on eBay like that, and you were buying them at $1.60.
Yeah,
Okay, he put $2,000 worth out, took every Rampart off, and then he threw them on for 25, $40. People just started eating them up because they were like, "Oh, these are rare." And
yeah,
there's no rare Game Boy Rampart in the world. I'm gonna tell you that right now because during those times when Game Boy out, Rampart was a huge game.
Yeah.
It was a humongous.
I'll tell you,
but look
I'll tell you
when
another
somebody goes
story
in and buys one,
where the market was manipulated. Years ago, Sony, Warner Brothers, and Disney went to Blockbuster and they told Blockbuster, hey, we'll give you exclusive rights to this new invention that's coming out, the DVD, for you to rent them out to everybody. You'll be the only one in the United States to be able to rent out DVDs. And Blockbuster looked at him and said, this is stupid. You're dumbasses. DVDs are going to be a fad. They're never going to take out VHS. And, well, fast forward, DVDs did way better because what Sony, Warner Brothers, and Disney did, they manipulate the market by selling DVDs way cheaper than what it would be to rent them ultimately. And it helped destroy Blockbuster. And they manipulated the market. That's why we had so many DVDs of the dumbest of movies. And you're like, well, why'd they make so many of them? They made them to manipulate the market, essentially. They flooded the market with them. And they did it on purpose.
Did Nintendo sue Blockbuster too? I think over to because they had like the what was it, like the cheat codes or stuff like that there or something. I thought it was something.
Maybe you'd have to.
There might have been something.
You'd have to look that up. I don't.
And they didn't like that they were renting out games either. I know that.
Oh yeah, Nintendo does not like that at all. I'll tell you, eBay is trying to become Whatnot a little bit. I just read a couple minutes ago that eBay is now doing like a live tour for live events, right? And live salesmen. And what they're trying to do is trying to push the idea of the live auction thing, but only for certain sellers, rather. People in their good graces. So I think they're trying to hype the idea of the live selling now. So I think what'll happen soon, mark my words, they're going to have a new thing on eBay where it's going to have a whole entire section of just like a live selling. Even though they have it now, I think what they're going to expand on it. That's my guess. They're going to try to push that down your throat, though. And it might even hurt your regular sales, your static sales. Because they're going to try to push the idea of live, viewing sales. I just have a feeling that's what's going to happen.
So, Nintendo sued Blockbuster in 1989 for photocopying Nintendo video game manuals to accompany rental cartridges. Because they wouldn't give them the manuals when they would get them from them. They wouldn't give them the manuals or something like that, I think. And so that was their way around it. They were photocopying.
Well, yeah, some people, that looks good when you get the manuals. That's crazy. Yeah.
I thought it was something with the cheat codes. Well, I think they tried to. No, Nintendo sued like Game Shark or one of those too because years ago because of that was another thing because something about like the cheat codes and stuff. It was something that because the Game Shark didn't that like they had the ones where they would fit into the Game Boy or whatever it was, and because it fit in there or something that they had a whole fit.
Dude, you could be doing something.
Yeah, because they got rid of it.
Perfectly legal, and Nintendo would try to sue you and give you cease and desist. I mean, you could clearly be in the right, and they will still try to come after you. Nintendo is hardcore with that. I mean, they pushed that one kid years ago, sadly, to unalive himself. Don't say the word, but they pushed him to unalive himself. Hopefully his family got some cash out of that. Because Nintendo, boy, they can be evil when they want to be.
Are you guys want to do some trivia? Since I got video game trivia
nobody
today.
even had anything to say about that one, did they?
I'm trying to move on from that. I don't want to talk about something like that.
Oh, you don't want Nintendo to come after you, huh?
He's like,
I don't care how much you look like Mario.
Yeah.
Hey, Luigi, get him.
Yeah, I'm gonna wear a red hat. I'm gonna wear a red hat with the M on it next week.
Yeah.
You can borrow it from me.
Oh boy.
Before we start trivia, there are actually people who buy stuff from us that run around and call me Mario because I dressed up as Mario, I think 1 or 2 years ago, and they took pictures of it. If I can find the pictures, I'll let everybody see them next week. But I look good
Oh,
dressed up as Mario. You know, because I'm
there you
kind of
go.
shorter, I'm fat, I have a large PP, and I look just like Mario.
Okay. You like pipes too,
Yep,
huh?
I like pipe. Princess Peach boy, she's making it hard up for me. She ain't giving it up. I might have to go over and see Daisy.
All right.
Or that little Toadette
All right.
girl.
Time to get.
Toadette, Toadette's like a hard 8.5, you know what I mean? Hard 8.5, and I'll give her a
All right.
hard seven
All
and
right,
a half.
Mario. Lay off the mushroom now.
I think she's
Lay off the shroom.
I think she's an adult.
Okay.
Age is
All right.
only a number in the Toad Kingdom.
I'm gonna
I wonder what the
in
age
this
of
trivia.
consent is for the Toad Kingdom. In the Mushroom Kingdom.
I don't know. I'm moving on.
All right, we're ready for some. I take some.
I'll think about
All right.
this later,
So
everybody.
this is
Leave it in the comment. What do you think the age of consent in the Mushroom Kingdom is?
I'm never. All right. So this is 10 trivia questions about selling video games on eBay. All right. So I'll ask Jay first, and then Kenny, and then Kenny, you'll go first the second round. Second question, whatever. We'll alternate. So Jay, what's the best selling video game console on eBay in the US in recent years? A. Xbox 360. B. PlayStation 2. C. Nintendo Switch. D. Sega Genesis.
PS2.
Do I get to
Nope.
go?
Yep.
Nintendo Switch.
Yep.
Well, how recent years are they? What?
I don't know. It just says recent years.
Hold on. I gotta check this up. Hold on.
I
say
would have
something
just
wrong.
Need a
assumed
fact
Nintendo
check.
Switch because
He's got a fact check. Well, Kenny's like, no cap.
I just burned them.
He said of recent years. Let's say.
Birds keep chirping. It's so quiet in here. We can hear birds chirp.
Yeah, I know.
Wow, you can hear the bird chirp. Okay, hold on.
Sorry, the birds are keeping the sound going.
Hey, you can go ahead and ask Kenny his question.
All right. Number 2. Which of these old school video games is known to fetch high prices when sealed? A. Super Mario Bros. NES. B. Pong Atari. C. Duck Hunt. D. Pac-Man Atari 2600.
Hey.
Yep.
But they all fetch money. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But A is the highest dollar. When Jay would have got it too. Trust me.
Yeah. I think that was probably one of the easier ones. That was my guess. I mean, so let me know when you're ready, Jay.
I'm trying to see. I don't see that the Switch could outsell the PlayStation.
I mean, it's what ChatGPT did, so I don't know. Unless you're saying they're wrong. I mean, which they could be.
I think they are. You got to even imagine they sold 160 million PlayStation 2s compared, and then they have way more. Yeah, what recent years? That's the thing. Maybe if you're talking about recent years, like of last year or the year before last,
maybe
Nintendo Switch. Yeah.
Yeah, that possibly. All right. Number 3. Here you go, Jay. What's the eBay policy on selling digital game codes? A. Totally fine, no restrictions. B. Must be listed in the video game accessory category. C. Not allowed at all. D. Only allowed with a physical item.
Oh wow, I've never sold what's going. I thought it was a little bit different. I thought you had to sell it another way. Read them off again, and don't
A.
say yes or no. I want to, just if I got it right
Okay.
or I got it
All right.
wrong, don't say let you know.
A. Totally fine, no restrictions. B. Must be listed in a video game accessories category. C. Not allowed at all. D. Only allowed with a physical item.
I'm gonna say C.
C.
Yeah.
What's your answer,
B.
Kenny? C. Nope. D.
Wow. Only with physical.
What?
Yep.
I thought
Yeah,
it was something.
I know. I didn't think that was the case,
Yeah,
but
I know
Neither
because
did I.
people
I thought
sell,
they
NFTs.
do. But I don't think they're probably not allowed to.
I
It's
just
one of
said
those
no
things that
because you none of that. I don't think any of it was right. I
yeah.
thought it was. I thought you had to sell it a certain way with. There was a certain way my wife was telling me how it's done. That's why they. Yeah.
Okay. I
Unless
thought
it's
maybe they
different.
would just email them the code
That's what they do,
or
and
Yeah.
they put it
something.
in the messages too.
That's
Because
what they do.
I bought a bunch
Yeah.
of them. Because I get the Xbox one, right? Xbox Game Pass.
That's
Yeah.
stuff.
You don't need a physical
Yeah.
anything.
Maybe that's what they mean though. Maybe it's not even with the game. They just mean you need to send them the physical card that the code is on.
No.
Instead
Maybe.
of I don't know. I
Yeah,
don't know.
that's crazy.
All right. All right, Kenny.
All
Next
right.
one. Which of the following words in a video game title might get your eBay listing flagged or removed? A. Rare. B. Repro. C. Sealed. D.
Come
Complete.
on now. How easy is this question? Repo, bro.
Yeah. Repro.
Like, that was the easiest one.
I get the
Jeez.
easy ones, right? I'm not retarded. They think you're handicapped and
Sorry,
I'm
Jay.
retarded. You know what I mean?
Well, Jay always says he's a genius, so I'm giving him the hard one.
Oh, yeah, true. Keep on doing it.
All right. Number 5. What's considered a gold standard for describing a complete game on eBay? A. Just the disc or cartridge. B. Cartridge plus box. C. Cartridge plus box plus instructions. D. Cartridge plus box plus instructions plus receipt.
What? C. This is tricky questions. But I'll go with D. No, C. I mean, who cares the receipt? C.
C. It's C.
Yeah. Let me see what you paid for it. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
That's
I
crazy.
do like seeing that for history purpose sometimes. Like, see how the market has changed.
Yeah.
But you know,
I bought some games and like every one of them had receipts in them. Like
yeah.
$4 games. You paid $49 for them. Like, oh god.
Where the hell did you
You
find
only
these
knew.
questions at? Commonwealth Pickers
Chat,
NA meeting?
Chat GPT.
Oh,
All right,
same
Kenny.
difference.
Number 6. If you find a GameCube game with a black disc and a shiny top, what should you do? A. Celebrate it's rare. B. Double check it. It might be fake. C. List it for $1. D. Try to play it and see.
It's probably fake.
Yeah, it's fake.
Yeah, I got.
They never made no black bottom.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. Have you guys ever seen a black disc?
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
It's so difficult to fake GameCube games. That's why Nintendo did them that way.
Yeah. Well, I'm surprised they.
There have been
they
people
don't
to
need
do
to
it,
really
but
anymore.
it's very rare.
Yeah.
Because the disc is so hard to get a hold of, Oh, that was a gentleman's gold club. They find your phone, Jay? He was getting a lap dance and lost his phone.
See, Ray looked like
Like
you
what?
were at the gentleman's
You went
gold.
without me?
What?
Oh man. All right. Number 7. What is a common buyer red flag when selling high value video games? A. Asking for combined shipping. B. Asking to ship to a different address than what's on eBay. C. Sending compliments about your feedback. D. Making a best offer.
All the above. It's all the above, dude. No, it's going to be B.
B.
What do you think,
B.
Kenny? Yeah. Yep. All right. Number 8. You good, Kenny? You got an itch? You good?
I'm waiting.
All right. I know. I didn't. You're just. I didn't know if you were ready because you were like itching or something. I don't know. All right. Number 8. Which of these games has sold for over $1 million on eBay or other auction
It's going to be
sites?
Mario.
A. Halo Combat Evolved. B. Super Smash Bros. Melee. C. The Legend of Zelda Sealed NES. D. Resident Evil
C.
4.
C.
That one seemed easy. And I'm not even really into that kind of
It
stuff
is,
like
because
that.
it could have only been a couple of different games.
Okay. All right. Number 9. What should you always do when photographing a video game for eBay? A. Only photograph the front cover. B. Use a stock photo. C. Include photos of the disc/cartridge case and manual. D. Take one blurry shot to save time.
That's crazy.
What?
C.
Like that?
Wow.
Like these just keep getting easier.
It's like ChatGPT got drunk. Like,
It's like, yeah, we're gonna give these
let me just
questions
throw
to
this out there.
preschoolers. It's like pre-K level questions.
Just give him whatever kind of questions, Bob.
Last one. Number 10. Which game accessory tends to sell surprisingly well on eBay? A. Game Boy Link cable. B. PlayStation Move controller. C. Wii sensor bar. D. All of the above.
It's going to be the Neo Geo remote masturbator. The answer is all of the above, but
Yep, it is.
yeah.
Because I already know Jay was going to say it. Jay knows that every time it says all of the above, it's all of the above.
It's always all of the above. Every time. And like,
yeah. I should have asked, like, can you make
like,
these a little hard? I didn't even read through them. I should have read through them.
I do like Neo Geo's vibrator, though. That thing works good, you know what I mean?
Okay.
Especially when you turn on King of Fighters. It's like,
Oh, man.
He was going out. I was like, we do. Thank you. I know it's coming.
Yeah,
to the
I know. I was doing something crazy at the end here. We've been going for what, 65, 75, what, about 80 minutes?
75
75 minutes?
Yep.
Remember, I
Yep.
cut out and left for a minute there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So for
That's
me,
all
it's
right.
only 65 minutes, 66 minutes.
You know, I'm curious, guys, if you've made it this long, tell me, did you pick up a Switch 2? And what do you think about it?
Are you interested in Neo Geo's
Also,
remote vibrator?
Ray's got his banana O's
Banana ball.
t-shirt going on.
Yep.
And maybe, you know,
Yeah, make sure, hey,
send over a message.
tell them to put it in the comments and message him if they want to buy one from him, if they're interested, or go over to Instagram.
Well,
What's your Instagram if they're interested in buying a shirt from you?
check out my Instagram, Triple R Collections. Yep. It'll be on there. I'll post a picture of it, and I'll try to post a link. If you don't see a link, just message me.
Awesome.
Yep.
Awesome. That's right. Well, guys, thank you for another one. Please like, subscribe, comment, and don't forget, how much do I weigh?
Yep.
See you guys later. Until next time, stay fair and stay square. Junk Jaw Resellers out.
Peace.